Well, hello everyone. We got a question to ask ourselves. Are these speakers overpriced and me underwhelmed, or are they just a great deal? Let's get into it right now. Today we're going to look at these PYLE Bluetooth speakers. And we need to get this video done because I need them in the other room, which is what I bought them for. Now we have a rather unceremonious box that inside is another box. And this box contains all of our power transformers and connectors and the remote control instructions, that kind of thing, right? Because these are Bluetooth, which means you should be able to, pair from your phone or from another device or whatever. They are, I have to say, a little bit big for computer speakers and a little bit small for house speakers, but they look like they were fairly nice, and their power, boom, it goes. Now I don't know which one is right and I don't know which one is left, but one of them is definitely the boss and the other is the second in command. All right. Got these nice little rubber feet on them, which do keep them from being, easily knocked over. They're a nice looking little speaker, and if we hold them around the back, we see that we do have, in fact, the volume control and the whatnot for it. Now I don't know which one is right and which one is left. We'll get to that in a minute. Now we've got another segment where we're going to have these things hooked up, and we're going to, see how they do. Let's go in for the look-see, eh? So we have our power switch and we have our equalizer. We have a couple of knobs for the different modes, volume, treble, and bass. We have DC in, speaker out, which I assume goes over to this speaker. In the box we have, as previously discussed, the instructions. There's like a cable. We have an extension cable of sorts to go to, like, say, a computer RCA. We have the interconnecting speaker to go from left to right. And, of course, we have our power, which is a little transformer, low voltage transformer, and our remote control. So how about that? Let's go get them put together and see what happens. Now, these cables feel pretty darn, thin. All right, what we got going on, let's start with the easy stuff and just go look, see how they're advertised, see if that sets the mood for anything. And then we'll do the walk around video, which is I get to show you what it looks like in action. I can't demonstrate them for you because of, potential copyright. Playing any kind of music that you would possibly recognize. Can't do that. Well, let's go look at our center panel. Amazon. PYLE powered bookshelf speakers, Bluetooth studio monitor speaker set, TV and PC speaker, desktop hi-fi stereo speaker, home theater sound system, 60 watt, $72.99. All right, well, let's look at them. What does it say right over here? Built-in Bluetooth. Well, that's a good thing. We do like it. And it can connect your telephone or some other device to it. That's fine. We have these controls right here. One of the things that I noticed, we're off to a bad start. See where it says coax? That's not coax, that's just another RCA connection. Let's zoom in there. It's just an RCA connection. But when I come down here, what do they show me? They show me a television coax. That does not fit that yellow composite looking input. And I'm just guessing that's a composite because we have left and right above it. Right, and then we have optical. Obviously, we can connect an optical cable to it. Oh, and hey, according to the instructions, now the speakers are 80-watt speakers. We can connect the left and right cables to it. That one shows a plug-in, a 3.5 millimeter, I'm guessing is. Equalizer, not really sure what that does. Mode selection and power switch. I think the mode selection switches between Bluetooth, coax, yada yada, you see what I'm saying, and optical, whereas EQ kicks in these modes that we're going to look at right down here. Bluetooth mode, line mode, USB mode. I don't know where there's a USB on that, and I don't mind. Somebody, like I say, the instructions are terrible. Don't remember USB mode, coax mode, optical mode, dialogue mode, music mode. Those things at the bottom, those are just audio filters. The dialogue mode sounds tinny. The music mode sounds okay, not great. They sound a little plasticky. And the movie mode has a slight echo to it, which is nutty, which is not very good. I don't care for that. Next track and previous track, that's on the remote control. If you're going to be able to link to a device that will recognize that through Bluetooth control, that's fine. Play, pause, volume up, down, mute button, power button. Hey, appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, if you will, subscribe to the channel, either the YouTube or the Rumble channel, which this appears in. And if you can, check the notification bell or settings to make sure that you get notified when new videos are posted. Appreciate it. A link to a device that will recognize that through Bluetooth control, that's fine. Play, pause, volume up, down, mute button, power button. That's what they say we've got here, power supply. All right, let's look at that. See that remote control? All right, remember that. So what I want you to do is I want you to memorize this. Bluetooth in the middle, coax line, USB, and I guess that's OPT, supposed to be OPT. That's not what they ship. Okay? We'll just get to that. But let's look at something else here. Let's look at this next one. 50-watt speaker, high quality sound, 50-watt speaker with strong bass and clear sound. So what do they mean? Is it the whole speaker is 50 watt? Is it just a full range 4-inch speaker? Is it 4-inch speaker with a 1-inch tweeter that together has 60 watts? Because that's what it says it has, right? 60 watts, not 50 watts. Let's go down in the description. 60 watts, maximum power, 60 watts. Let's get down, go on down, and where's our more issue? Here we go. Built to last because it is constructed of the material MDF. You know what MDF is? There's no visible MDF. It looks like all plastic, ABS plastic. With fabric cloth, no, there's no fabric cloth that I can tell. It's like a little screen in front of it. These bookshelf monitor speakers have a long lifespan with a battery type of 1.5 volt lithium ion. 1,300 milliampere hours, works up to 2 hours. Well, we're not off to a good start, I tell you right off the bat. And did we point out that they're asked $73 for these speakers? Of course, you have to pay taxes if you're in the U.S. So, you know, $73 for a pair of computer speakers. Well, I figure we can start by looking at the desk where the little PYLE speakers are, so you get a feeling for scale. They aren't particularly large like bookshelf speakers you would expect them to be, although they are, I guess they're adequate for a computer, which is what I bought them for. Nice and dark. Let me put a little light on that. Okay, you can see a little bit better. All right, so, well, looking at that unit, that's a 140 millimeter fan, so they're a little, probably just a little bit smaller in footprint than 140 millimeters. Input obviously selects which one of the inputs on the back of the main speaker. Optical, which is what I'm using for the computer. Line, which is, I'm assuming, is the red and white, left and right. Bluetooth, BT, coax. It shows using an antenna coax. It's not, it's just yellow, so I'm assuming it's video, a composite input with both video and 2 audios in it. I'm guessing what that is, volume up and down, left and right if you're Bluetooth connected to a device that reads that, I guess. And mute, come back, Mr. Focus, mute obviously does turn it off, and that's just handy if you're listening or doing something and you turn it off. They do play well with Bluetooth. Let me turn my light back on. They do play well with Bluetooth from like a telephone or whatever. They are not the greatest quality of sound. I saw a review that suggested they were studio quality. They are not studio quality. They are desktop computer quality, small space quality. You only have a little bit of room to put something in. Now, let's take a look at the back. You turn the unit around, if I can keep from knocking over the telephone. If you see, obviously this is the power connector. Yellow is is just a good cable that I have instead of that cheap plastic. Really low quality, in my opinion, wires went with this unit, and a good optical as well. Also, these are left over out of my massive bag goodies. If we can turn around and look, you see, this is an RCA jack. Yellow is usually the composite, yes, the left and right. Now, EQ changes the 3 modes. Obviously, there's power and your typical volume, treble, and I guess bass. So there we are, bass, treble. So you can kind of set those out. They are a little reflex speaker, and they do sound like plastic. They don't sound organic like wood in any shape, form, or fashion. They do sound more than adequate, I think, for a computer. Better than a lot of desktop speakers. But I want to point something out to you on this remote. See, on this remote it says music, dialogue, and movie. Movie causes me a little bit of heartburn because it has a slight echo. To me, it also sounds a little tinny, and it gives you an echo. So if you have your volume turned a little bit up on it, and you're doing like video editing on a machine that has these speakers, and you're in this mode, it makes your echo sound terrible on your videos that you're editing. Music is fairly flat, I think, and the dialogue cuts it to the basic speech frequency. So it cuts out the top and the bottom. So those are the 3 modes. That's kind of important to know. It does, like I say, I perceive it has a little bit of an analog delay in the movie mode, and you lose some of your bass. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the review. I don't really tiptoe around the tulips. I don't try to beat anybody up, but it is what it is. And if you can't get a clean description from your reseller, it gets real sus from the beginning. And so I listen to them. They're not bad, but I think probably if the price for both of them were the price for one, I think it'd be a pretty good deal. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe I'd give these a pass. I don't know that I'd buy these again, to be honest with you.